Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Simply put, we are back. Check it. Check it. All the prices are up. 11% on the gloves that I was talking about that I thought they were overpriced. Didn't buy them. They're up 11%. That sucks. Here we are. The CS market has absolutely blown up once again. We are at all-time highs for the entire market cap of the game. It is absolutely ridiculous. I want to talk about, dear God, why some things are performing super well and others are not performing so great. And the first thing I want to start with is gloves. Hello? Hello. Okay, yes, open up the market, please. So the interesting thing I noticed about the glove case, and I covered this in a few videos, is I was like, wait a second, the gloves are crashing in price, but the glove case, it really wasn't doing so bad. I was out of town for like a week, so I never saw this part of the chart. But I was looking at it here, and I was like, the glove case is holding up really well, considering a lot of the gloves are absolutely crashing in price. Now the glove case is back up in price slightly, and obviously the gloves are doing ridiculously well as well. They're actually up over the past 60 days again, which is great. Now, I do think gloves are still really expensive, and they're one of the things I don't want to touch because they're easily manipulatable. I don't know how to say that word, guys. I didn't go to college, but you get the point. They're kind of just too expensive. I don't really want to touch them. Now, one thing I do like touching for some reason is high tier skins. I've covered these in a lot of videos. I do own a field tested Dragon Lore. I bought this thing for $3,639 from Anomaly. I remember the exact price because it was way too much money compared to what I had at the time, and it was a great time to buy. As always with these skins, I say with high tiers, they're essentially up only. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to like just say that this is risk free, but over their entire existence, and I wish this chart went back further, but they've essentially been up only. The past 5 years, they'll go through hype spikes, they'll come back down, but the trend is always upwards, and anytime they consolidate, they blow up again. And we've seen this time and time again, which makes high tier skins great. To cash out instantly for PayPal, crypto, and bank transfers, check out skin.place. Skin.place gives you fair prices for every single skin you have, and is an insanely easy process. Here's how it works. Just click the skins you want to sell, enter your crypto address or whatever you need to do, and then you just get sent a trade offer, accept it, and receive your money in about 20 minutes. It's the best way to sell CS2 skins no matter what size your inventory is. Get a 3% bonus on selling your skins with that link at the top of the description. And they're one of the things I hold for the long term and don't really have any desire to sell. Now, recently I told you guys that I bought a howl. I don't know if I said that on this channel actually, since I upload these videos on so many channels, but I actually didn't buy a howl because I forgot to accept the trade offer because it got sent to me at 12 a.m. and the site canceled it after 6 hours because I did not accept. So I ended up buying a factory new gold arabesque yesterday actually for 43 something. I don't remember the exact price. It was like 43.60 maybe, and this thing's already up to like 40. Let's see, it's like 4,500 on Skinport. It's up a good amount. And the reason I ended up buying this skin instead of the howl was because a lot of consolidation here. First off, looked absolutely incredible, and for whatever reason this skin gets super hyped. I wish this chart went back about 2 months further so you could see the first time it happened, but you could really see it here as well. $1,900 to $8,000, man. If I buy this thing at 4,300 and it blows up to $8,000 in a week, which is very possible because I guess this was a couple months, I guess. But if it happens over the next couple months, I'll be selling. I'll probably sell when it gets to like $6,000 or so. But either way, I want the skins that are capitalizing off of the hype right now, and this is definitely one of them. I'm a big fan of it. For the rest of the market, not everything is doing incredible though. Sure, we've got old Operation skins, which I love. The M4 Blue Phosphor, the M4 Poseidon is another good one. Just so many good skins there. Old play skins that are in much more expensive cases now are absolutely blowing up too, which I love. Phase 2s are still struggling a bit. They're one of the skins that I still think can come back down quite a bit in price. I think $10,000 for a Phase 2 Butterfly, there's going to be way more sellers than there is buyers for quite a while there. And I do think the same thing with gloves as well. Even though they're up 11%, they are still down over the past 60 days, 7% still. I still think sellers are going to be taking the advantage there, but with high tier skins, I think they're great. Some of the Dopplers as well, $3,000 for just a normal Karambit Doppler, I think is really expensive. Once again, I sold this thing for $3,600 just a few weeks ago. This looks all right. It looks like there's some buyers, but until we start climbing to like 3,300 or so, I wouldn't say there's like any reason to buy this. And even at 3,300 or so, oh my god, my voice just died. Even at 3,300 or so, I think it's just too high in price. If it drops back down to 2 grand, I think that's a level you could be considering buying. Like with all of these charts, I would say come back down to pre-hype levels and then buy them. That's the case it's been with everything. And essentially everything that has touched pre-hype levels has blown back up. The M4 Blue Phosphor is one case. The M4 Poseidon is another case that I'll show in this video since it's one I haven't really covered, but it actually didn't come all the way back down to pre-hype levels. I'll go back to the 3-month chart just so I could confirm my own bias, I guess, but it was at like 1100, 1200, 1300 or so, and I mean, it went through a very short hype spike and then consolidated at pre-hype levels again over the past 3 months and then blew up again. So anytime you see consolidation after a massive hype spike, you could assume that this level is going to be maintained at bare minimum and eventually blow up again. And that did happen. These moves are very quick when they happen, which is why I always say just buy when you see things consolidating. It's the best thing that has made people money in this market over the long term. It's not a complicated market. If you see something consolidating, you essentially just buy it. And depending on what your budget is, that could be something low tier, something high tier, whatever it may be. I like sticking with the high tiers because they're easier to sell and everything like that. It's just one item rather than a million. And yeah, it's good. Could even see here, like you could consider this consolidation. And this is actually one of the skins that dropped back down in price, I guess because there's so many of them in existence. Things can get kind of funky with these items that are just in normal cases, which is why I like sticking with operation skins a lot more, but more consolidation here than just blows up in price. I believe this is in the Broken Fan case, which has gotten a lot more expensive. It's a good looking skin, so it's going to continue to do well. So personally for me, stuff I will buy here is of course high tiers. Once again, I did just buy an AK Gold Arabesque. Big fan of the skin. I should have bought a Howl as well. I might still buy a Howl as well if I could scrounge up enough money for it to find somebody selling one, which so far I cannot. But I'm just a fan of high tiers right now. Another thing I'm a fan of is cases. We love our cases in the CS game because since the skins are getting so expensive, said this 1,000 times, that means the cases are going to get more expensive because they'll be worth unboxing at these ridiculous levels because the skins are so expensive. If you somehow hit that 1 in 381 chance for a knife, that knife could easily be worth $10,000 even if it's just like a Karambit Phase 2 or a Butterfly Phase 2, whatever it may be. And some people risk that for a $5 case. So as long as the skins are getting more expensive, the cases will too. I think those things are going to continue to go hand in hand. I think cases are a great buy. As I've covered in a few videos, CS20 cases, big fan of them. They have a standalone knife in the case, and they're the only case that will ever have the classic knife, which is why I'm such a big fan of it. $2.15 for this thing now. I own about 2,000 of them. Told you guys to buy these for a long, long time. I hope you did. I hope you're holding on to them still. They are doing great. You could check any case in the game, and they'll be doing ridiculously well. Let's go. What the hell do we want to check? The Phoenix case? Bro, I don't know. I have no idea. This case is $7. I thought it was like $3. Consolidation, brother. Now, the thing with this thing has gone so much in price. This is why I like cheaper cases, because I've been telling you guys, like with the let me show you guys. This right now is essentially the CS20 case chart, excluding this part here. CS20 case is like here, and it could very easily get to here. That's why I like the CS20 case, because it's one of the cheaper cases in the game. People don't love the knives, which kind of makes me worried, but it's already at $2. I think the hype could easily carry it to $3. $3's, I don't want to say not a horrible spot to sell, but it's a spot you can sell and move your money into other things that could 2x in price as well. So it's just like cases, long-term, you hold them, they're doing great. Old Operation skins are doing great. Glock Fade, kind of expensive. There's not a ton of demand for it, but there's a bunch of other ones. Hydroponic is typically a lot more demand. I guess that thing's gotten too expensive too, which is why I'm a big fan of the Gold Arabesque. Deagle, Emerald Roman Gander, that's a skin you hold for a very long time because it benefits off stuff like the Opgun Gear increasing in price as well. And if you can, try and pick up factory new versions of these because they typically perform a lot better. I'll show you an example with the Gold Arabesque. I bought a factory new one. This site glitches out sometimes. Non-souvenir. I don't like souvenir skins. You guys shouldn't either. They're a pain in the ass. I bought a factory new one recently because they typically have much bigger moves. Even though it is down 14-15% in the past 60 days, once again, I bought it at 4,300. They have much bigger moves than when the market has hype spikes. Only 0.14% for the field tested, 3% for the minimal wear, but 7% for the factory new. And you'll note the Battle Scarred one is actually down 2% as well. So I'm always a big fan of these factory new skins. If you don't have the budget for that, the Bloodsport's another really cool skin when it comes to stuff like this. 40% on the factory new one in the past 60 days, only 20% for the minimal wear, bit less for the field tested. I don't think this thing comes in battle scarred. Well worn is somehow up a little bit more, but you could easily see that the factory new conditions do perform a lot better. That's how it always is. You could check something else random like the Poseidon. I don't even know if this is correct. It is. I didn't even know this thing came in field tested. Up 16% for the factory new one past 60 days, and down on the minimal wear and field tested ones. So for these high tier skins, for these play skins, people love the factory new ones. They're much more limited, they're much more rare, and the people that have enough money to spend $1,000 on these high end skins typically buy the factory new ones. I stuttered about 6 times in that sentence, but here we are. If you can afford factory new as an investor, you should get it. They'll always perform better. They always have, especially recently. So yeah, that's where the market's at right now. Appreciate you guys for watching. Sponsor, link at the top of the description. Insta sell your skins. Save yourself some money buying skins. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.